Hi guys. Uh, Today, as the title says, I am 5 months post transplant, and I am also leukopenic and neutropenic, which is quite shocking, but is nothing too unusual for HSCT veterans all over the world. Anyone who has been through such dramatic and invasive treatment where chemo agents have been used to suppress the immune system, such condition can happen anytime post-transplant. Okay, let's go 5 months back. On the 15th of February, I was given the transplant of my own stem cells, and at that time I wasn't that immunocompromised. I wasn't in isolation yet, but after a couple of days since the transplant, my white blood levels started to decrease, and I was admitted for the isolation, and I wasn't able to leave my room, but that is an important part of the HSCT process, and without that process there's no guarantee for successful outcome. So but now, since I'm 5 months post, I didn't quite expect that I would be so immunocompromised again. So basically my state is right now quite severe. I'm at home in my own kind of isolation, and I'm staying in unofficial isolation since my blood count, my white blood cell levels are very, very low. They are just about as they were one day before I was allowed to come out from the isolation. So my levels are isolation blood levels as they were in during my isolation period in February in Moscow. So on Thursday, 2 days ago, I had my usual regular monthly blood test done. Also my thyroid levels were checked and all that, and also my lymphocyte counts, and nothing too unusual. But once the results came in, I was shocked because my white blood levels, my leukocytes, were 2, and the lower limit is 3.4, was given by the lab. Well, my leukocytes are severely decreased, which means I am leukopenic at the moment and should be very, very careful and taking all precautions and just staying safe until my next lab test, where I can see whether my blood values have improved at all. Hopefully they will have. And also my neutrophils, which are responsible for fighting against infections caused by different kinds of bacteria, those levels were also very low. My neutrophils were about 0.9, as the reference rates, the lower limit given by the lab was 1.5. So those levels were also severely decreased. So at this point, I need to be very, very careful. Once again, of course, during these last 5 months, I have been very careful and I haven't contracted any kind of infections, which is very good, and I'm very lucky. But of course, it's shocking that I am very, very immunocompromised at the moment. Once again, this immunocompromised I haven't been during these 5 months that I have been home. But of course, since my lab tests are not controlled every single hour of every single day, it's possible that during these 5 months I have been this immunocompromised at some point, but I can't be aware of that. Now I just have to take all precautions. I need to measure my body temperature a couple of times a day, each morning and in the evening as well, and whenever I feel that my body temperature could be rising. I also have to, of course, eat healthy, and I've been drinking a lot of lemon ginger green tea, and also I have been also just eating a lot of vitamins and supplements. Not of course going crazy, but whatever I have at home, I just want to make sure that my body is able to produce those new cells, healthy cells, that then can assure that my body is able to combat any possible threat coming from the outside. So just taking general precautions and being vigilant about any possible threat, and just of course staying home and keeping my environment clean and my skin clean, and all my mucous membranes areas, not touching my face or anything. Just like usually, I keep myself protected. But also, probably it's to some degree, it is also, in my situation, it is fitting that to know that my levels are low, and it can be the cause for the very weird symptoms I've been having the past weeks. I have been having very weird sensory symptoms that have been worse during the past weeks compared to the past, since my blood levels are very low, my white blood cells are very low, very abnormal, what they should be. But during this time, the roller coaster is still on. I'm still riding the roller coaster, the HSCT, post-HSCT roller coaster, and I shouldn't be too worried or too shocked to have such weird symptoms, as long as they're not completely new. Well, these symptoms are sensations of itch, like all over the body and mostly around the scalp and around my face, since my skin is very dry. But I also feel that it's not because of the skin, but it's something underneath the skin. It has something to do with the nerve functions, and also since my hair is growing very fast, but my facial hair, my eyebrows and lashes are still very thin, and they're not doing well, and I have a bad acne, and so my body is like just dealing with this mess and picking up the pieces after the chemo. And as the effects of the chemo are still seen and still present, I cannot expect too much. So yes, these symptoms are annoying as MS symptoms usually are. They are just non-stop present, and at first I was very alarmed, and I was convinced that these symptoms are new and they are a sign that I could possibly be having a relapse. But since I'm only 5 months post-transplant, I think it's not very likely that I would be having a relapse, a clinical relapse, since my levels are very low, and these symptoms that I have currently, they are getting less each day and less disturbing, and I can feel that they are not something completely new, to say that, hey, these symptoms are something I have never experienced before during my disease course. In 2012 and 2013, when I was very newly hardly even diagnosed, I remember that I had these creepy crawlies around my, just moving around my body, and it was literally driving me crazy. And in 2013, especially during 1 month, I had these creepy crawlies in my hands and in my torso also, just like now. But now I guess the sensation is here and there. It's more on the upper body area rather than the lower body, closer to my head and my face. But it's constantly changing, so I cannot say that, hey, this is just affecting only my nose or my cheeks or my scalp or my neck or my chest or my back. It's constantly changing. The area and the tingling and pins and needles and creepy crawlies is something that I'm quite used to, and frankly, most people have these sensations, whether it's due to some mineral vitamin deficiency or just or for some other reason. Most people feel, occasionally they might feel a pinch, or that their ear is tickling, or they need to scratch their belly or nose or cheeks or scalp, or something's itching. I just happen to have that sensation a bit more. And I was always also thinking, could it be possibly some kind of mineral deficiency, as I mentioned, since I haven't been eating that much and I haven't had the appetite to eat, and since I have a lot of restrictions when it comes to eating, I'm not quite sure whether I receive enough nutrients, all the possible nutrients, and I need to for my nerves and other bodily functions to function properly. So that's another factor that might be contributing to this weird situation I'm in with these symptoms. And I also asked of course I informed my HSCT, lovely HSCT doctor, and ask him, should I worry, or is this something that most people are going through, or some people at least are going through, since my MS course has been very hectic and aggressive and very fast. So fortunately the doctor assured that this is most likely normal part of the HSCT recovery phase and recovery process. So I shouldn't worry too much. I should just make sure that my white blood levels, the low blood levels that I have right now won't cause me any like further issues like contracting blood poisoning or anything. So I just have to make sure that I get another blood test soon and another one in a couple of weeks to see whether my blood levels have recovered or at least improved to some point, so that my risk of contracting a serious infection isn't that high as it is right now. So that was quite a bit of relief, since for the past week, I've been so anxious and so even sad and disappointed and just freaking out because of these very annoying symptoms and very bizarre symptoms. And since MS is such a smooth operator, such a vicious little disease that lives inside of our bodies, whoever has MS knows that MS is something, it's indescribably evil and very it like plays with your mind. It can easily drive anyone crazy, since most MS symptoms are something that also easily can have another cause, another fact contributing. So the worst thing, at least for me, is not to be able to tell whether the symptom is due to MS or due to something else. The worst thing is to live in this uncertainty and just not being able to know for sure whether I am having a MS attack or something. So for me, it's making me very unsure and very vulnerable to all these changes that my body is facing. But nevertheless, currently I feel very good, apart from the flu-like symptoms I have due to this very low white blood cell level I have right now, and of course these other symptoms I just described to you. I feel quite good. I feel that my physical stamina has improved since I've been cycling a lot. I've been doing my physiotherapy. I have been enjoying walking, and I feel like at home doing the daily chores is less physically burdening. And also I feel that I have been just more focused and able to concentrate on the cognitive level. I feel that some things have improved. And I haven't been that tired. Of course, now, since my leukocytes are very low, occasionally I really feel that I am defeated. I really need to take a nap, and sometimes this problem was with other DMDs, with disease modifying medications that I was taking for my MS. With the injectable therapies I was doing, I had this every week or whenever I was doing the injection. The following day I was always in bed. I just had to lie down and take rest, and basically the whole day was ruined. But now, even with the very low leukocytes, I'm still able to do more things as I was able to do when I was taking all these DMDs in the past. So that I feel is amazing. And also, since my latest MRI about 4 months post HSCT was all clear, no new lesions, no new enhancing lesions, of course the old scars, the old lesions and black holes, whatever there is unfortunately still there. But my secret wish is that over time those lesions will shrink in size, and some of them could even possibly vanish from the MRI. So that might happen, that might not happen, but the main thing is that I feel good about me, that I'm able to function clinically, and that there is little to no disease activity. I really don't think this is a relapse, which is really, it's a very good thing, but of course I will always be a bit hesitant, a bit scared, and a bit like in doubt probably, even though I shouldn't be, because HSCT is the most important thing you can do and most powerful thing to do if you want to halt your disease progression in most autoimmune diseases like in MS. So I hope that the symptoms are just due to some mineral deficiency, some vitamin deficiency. I'm also going to take some other tests to check my, for example, my vitamin B12 level and my magnesium level and my zinc levels and probably some other levels, just to see whether the cause could possibly be something else. But if those labs turn out to be fine, I think I still shouldn't worry too much, because once the doctor said I shouldn't worry too much, people are hitting bumps along the road, and I'm just in the very beginning. I'm not even 6 months post-transplant, and I have still a long road ahead to go through until my recovery is completed, if it ever will be completed, who knows. But the best I can do is, the only thing I can do right now at the moment is just take all precautions and give my body the rest it needs, all the fuel it needs, and keep it safe from all those nasty germs and viruses, and make sure that I won't be contracting any kind of viruses just to make matters worse. But I guess for now, this update was just mainly about how I'm doing and how neutropenia and leukopenia can really happen anytime post-transplant. Just the most important thing, wherever you go, whatever you do, just stay vigilant, because you never know where you're gonna find yourself with such vulnerable and constantly changing immune system. Your brand new immune system needs a lot of attention from you and a lot of care and protection. So that is very important. The most important thing is to make sure that all your basic, most essential bodily functions are kept safe, and that you are not posing any extra unnecessary risks to your very vulnerable new immune system. So this was it for today. I really appreciate you watching this, and I hope you enjoyed this update, and hope to see you next time. And I really thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.